What if Nikon is about to drop a camera that completely resets the mid-range market? Not a small refresh, not a safe update, but a real statement. The Nikon Z6 IV rumors for 2026 are starting to sound less like iteration and more like escalation. A bigger sensor, smarter autofocus, cinema-grade upgrades, and possibly the first real taste of red influence in a mainstream Nikon body. In this video, we're breaking down what went wrong with the Z6 III, what Nikon might fix, and whether this could become the absolute hybrid camera creators have been waiting for. Let's be honest for a second. The Z6 III was a fantastic hybrid. Fast, capable, reliable, but it was not perfect. The biggest sticking point was resolution. At 24.5 megapixels, it felt a little constrained in 2025. When competitors are pushing 33 megapixels as the new baseline, cropping flexibility matters. For wedding shooters, wildlife photographers, and commercial creators, that extra room to punch in is not just a luxury, it's practical. There was also the dynamic range conversation. The partially stacked sensor design boosted speed, but landscape shooters noticed a slight shadow noise penalty at base ISO. Not a deal breaker, but noticeable. Then there were the little friction points. EVF brightness that drained battery faster than expected, thermal ceilings during extended 6K RAW sessions, and the flippy screen debate. Video shooters loved it. Traditional photographers wanted a proper 4-axis tilt like the Z8. None of these were fatal flaws, but they were the fine print. Now, here's where things get interesting. The strongest rumors suggest the Z6 IV could jump to a 33.3 megapixel full-frame stacked CMOS sensor. If true, that changes everything. Think of it like this. The Z6 series has always lived in the middle ground between speed and resolution. A 33 megapixel stacked sensor would eliminate that compromise. More cropping flexibility, faster readout speeds, minimal rolling shutter, better birth performance. Specs are one thing, but in real life, that means you can shoot high-resolution portraits, crop aggressively for wildlife, and still capture smooth video without distortion. That's the holy grail hybrid balance. Here's where the debate gets juicy. Rumors point to an Expeed 8 processor and what some insiders are calling human intent autofocus. Now, that sounds dramatic, but the idea is predictive AI that understands scene flow, not just locking onto eyes, but anticipating movement, tracking a bride weaving through a crowded dance floor, following a bird before it clears a branch. Sony and Canon have raised the bar. Nikon knows it. If the Z6 IV inherits flagship-level AF from the Z9 and Z8 with even smarter subject recognition, it becomes extremely competitive. For solo shooters, that reliability is everything. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Nikon's RED acquisition. Rumors suggest deeper color science integration and improved internal processing influenced by RED's cinema expertise. We're hearing whispers of internal 6K OpenGate at 60p and uncropped 4K at 120p. If that holds true, the Z6 IV stops being just a hybrid. It becomes a serious cinema tool in a relatively compact body. OpenGate means flexibility. Vertical crops for social, horizontal for YouTube, more room in post. And if skin tones and color rendering see a meaningful boost, that alone could change how filmmakers view Nikon. But here's the tension. If Nikon makes the Z6 IV too good, it risks cannibalizing Z8 sales. This is what I call the Z8 paradox. If you get a 33 megapixel stacked sensor, flagship autofocus, and serious 6K capabilities under $3,000, why jump higher? That raises two concerns: strategic crippling or price creep. If Nikon artificially limits buffer depth or thermal performance, people will notice. On the flip side, if the price creeps toward $3,000, the psychological barrier becomes real. The Z6 line has always been the sweet spot. Push it too high, and it loses its identity. You know what's funny? 3 years ago, Nikon was seen as the legacy brand playing catch-up. Now they feel bold again. The Red acquisition signaled ambition. The Z9 and Z8 proved they can innovate at the top. The Z6 IV feels like the culmination of that momentum, a camera for creators who refuse to choose between photography and filmmaking, for the wedding shooter who flips from high-resolution portraits to cinematic slow motion in seconds. So what do we know? Nothing is official yet, but a 33-megapixel stacked sensor, smarter AI autofocus, and cinema-grade video upgrades would represent the most aggressive Z6 update yet. Now, I want to hear from you. If Nikon delivers this spec sheet under $3,000, the Z6 IV become your next camera? Or are you worried about price creep? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Why would Nikon slash the price of one of its most creator-friendly cameras to an all-time low right now? That is the question everyone should be asking. The Nikon Z30 has quietly dropped to under $600 with a kit lens, and that is not a casual discount. That kind of move usually means something is coming. Today, we are breaking down why this massive price drop matters, what it could mean for a Nikon Z32, and whether you should grab the deal now or wait for what might be next. When the Nikon Z30 launched back in mid-2022, it hit a very specific sweet spot. It was compact, approachable, and clearly built for vloggers and beginner creators. The 20.9-megapixel DX sensor delivered solid image quality. 4K video handled everyday content needs, and the fully articulating screen made solo shooting easy. For many creators, it was their first serious mirrorless camera. But 2 years later, the entry-level space looks very different. Canon and Sony have pushed features down aggressively, and what once felt modern is now starting to feel just a little behind. Here's where things get interesting. The Z30 dropping to around $597 with a lens is not a normal seasonal sale. Used bodies are showing up closer to $450. That kind of pricing usually signals stock clearance, not promotion. Nikon does not do this unless it wants inventory gone. On top of that, a new Nikon camera model, N2410, has appeared in wireless certification databases. That doesn't confirm anything on its own, but combined with the timing, it fits Nikon's typical refresh cycle perfectly. Entry-level cameras usually see updates every 2 to 3 years, and the Z30 is right on schedule. If a Z32 is coming, the upgrades almost write themselves. The sensor itself doesn't need a massive resolution bump, but pairing it with a faster processor like Expeed 7 would be huge. Better processing means cleaner low light, improved rolling shutter control, and more reliable performance overall. Autofocus is where the Z32 really needs to step up. The original Z30 is fine, but rivals now offer sticky eye tracking and confident subject detection that just works. For bloggers, reliability matters more than specs on paper. Missed focus can ruin an entire shoot. Video is where expectations have changed the most. The Z30 can shoot solid 4K, but competitors are offering higher frame rates, log profiles, and longer recording options. A Z32 needs 4K 60, Full HD 120, and ideally some form of 10-bit output, even if it is over HDMI. Small quality of life features like a tally light, better heat management, and improved audio handling would immediately make this camera feel more professional. These are not flashy upgrades, but they directly affect how smooth your workflow feels when you're filming alone. So what should you actually do right now? If you need a camera today and your budget matters, the current Z30 is still a very strong option. At its current price, it's honestly one of the best entry points into mirrorless content creation. It delivers reliable image quality, usable autofocus, long Full HD recording times, and access to Nikon's growing Z-mount ecosystem. But if you can wait, the Z32 could be worth it. Faster autofocus, better video options, and improved responsiveness could make everyday shooting noticeably easier, especially for fast-moving or unpredictable content. This feels like a transition moment for Nikon. The deep discount on the Z30, the timing, and the quiet registrations all point toward a refresh rather than a product being abandoned. Nikon has already shown it can bring advanced features into smaller bodies. If that philosophy reaches the Z32, it could become one of the most compelling creator cameras in its class. The real choice comes down to urgency versus future-proofing. Either way, the Z30 line is not going anywhere, and that's good news for creators. So, what would you do? Grab the Z30 at its lowest price ever, or wait to see what the 2 brings to the table? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if this helped you think through your next camera move, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next.